Hello everyone, we're going to be getting started in just one moment. All right, it is 6 o'clock and time to get started. I want to welcome you to the Intro to Self-Publishing Success webinar. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am recording this webinar and I will be sending out a replay to everyone that has registered. So in the next couple days, look for a recording of this as well as a PDF of the slides. That might make it easier for those that are taking notes. Just remember you are going to be getting a recording. Really quickly, an introduction. My name is Kimberly Martin, and I am the owner and founder of Jera Publishing. I'm also a self-publishing coach. I do offer a free 15-minute consulting session as well as paid consulting sessions for any self-publishing author. You can email me at km@jerapublishing.com or give me a call at 770-642-6400. And what is Jera Publishing? Jera Publishing is what I like to call your one-stop self-publishing shop. So I have a team of employees here that can help you with self-publishing. I do everything from the self-publishing coaching. We have a full self-publishing package as well as a la carte services such as editing, interior design, book cover design, ebook conversions, as well as some marketing material and just kind of standalone products that if you're looking for something different, we might be able to help you out. Check us out online at selfpub.net. And let's go ahead and get started on what we're here to hear. This is an introduction to my self-publishing success series. This is a series of webinars that go into what we're going to be talking about in this intro in a lot more detail. And those start next week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. There are 4 sessions, starting with the business of self-publishing, constructing your author platform, building your book, and marketing your book. We're going to touch base briefly on each of these topics in this intro, but this is really meant to be a quick overview of the entire process, and then I dive into much more detail in the individual sessions. The individual sessions last from 1 to 1.5 hours, where this webinar will probably be about a half an hour. Really quickly, let's talk about what is self-publishing. Self-publishing in essence is when an author creates a publishing company and publishes their own book underneath that publishing company. That's similar to like an indie artist doing their own record label and putting out their own records under that label. So it is a business, and let's compare it a little bit to some other publishing models. Traditional publishing, of course, everyone knows that. It works a lot differently than self-publishing. In traditional publishing, you would find an agent who then maybe markets it to the editor or the publisher. If you're picked up, they pay you in advance on your royalties. They handle all of the work for you, such as assigning ISBNs, formatting it, layout, design, covers, and they just distribute it. And then, of course, everybody takes a cut, a piece of your pie. The editor and agents are going to take cuts, the publisher is going to take a cut, and then they pay you a small royalty on books sold. Subsidy publishing is basically you're paying somebody to be your publisher. So you pay them a fee up front, and they do everything a traditional publisher would likely do. But then in addition for them taking the upfront fee, they will still take a cut of all sales of the book and pay you royalties. With self-publishing, you are your own publisher. You are responsible for all the duties and tasks that a publishing company would do for you. Doesn't mean you have to do it yourself, but you are responsible for making it happen. So you need to find your own editors or have the book edited in some fashion. You need to either design the book yourself or find a book designer, take care of the covers, take care of marketing, take care of getting ISBNs. It sounds like a lot of work. However, you own everything. You own all rights to your book. You own the copyright. You own the ISBN. You have full control over what your book looks like, and you can set the pricing point. And then there is no middleman taking a cut of your book profits. Everything goes directly into your pocket. You don't have to pay out any fees to anyone like editors and agents after the book is published. All right. So in this, we're going to just touch base on what I like to call the 5 steps to self-publishing success. The first step is research, then setting up your business, constructing your author platform, building your book, and marketing your book. So we're going to delve really quickly into touch base on each of these topics, and then at the end we're going to have a question and answer session for a few minutes, and then we'll wrap it up and I'll send out a recording in the next couple of days. So let's touch base on research. So the research is one step that you want to do, and that's basically what you guys are doing now. You're watching this, learning about self-publishing. So you don't want to jump into the self-publishing wagon blindly. You want to educate yourself and do the research. You want to make sure you understand what self-publishing means and if it is the right path for you and your book. So you want to learn first to minimize your mistakes. So you want to, one, look into what your own goals are for publishing your book. Think about, one, why are you publishing a book? What are your goals in publishing a book? And what is your budget? You need to know these things so you can make the right choices going down the road when you get into the publishing process. You want to understand the publishing models. I've touched briefly on them before, the traditional and the subsidy and the self-publishing. Make sure you understand the differences and what it means to be a self-publisher. You also want to look into your printing and distribution methods. You have the print on demand versus offset printing and distribution methods. Are you going to find a distributor on your own or use the built-in distribution with companies such as Ingram, Spark, and CreateSpace? Everything works a little bit differently. Read articles on self-publishing. You can find, we have lots of articles on our blog, and there's many more out there on the web that you can research. You will probably get some conflicting advice. That's because there isn't one solid, true path to self-publishing. There's lots of different ways you can go forward to self-publish your book. You just need to find the right path for you. What has worked for somebody else might not work for you. So go back to your goals and your budget and your definition of success to make sure the path you choose works for those. You also want to research your target market. There's a difference between your target market and all of your market. The target market is those group of people that you think are most likely to buy your book and to respond to your efforts to reach them. So you don't want to go out and reach out to everybody. You want to target it. So do some research, find out who your target market is. You also want to look at similar books. What are the competitors doing? What price points do they have for their book? What marketing efforts are they doing? Go to their websites, sign up for their newsletters, sign up, follow them on social media, get a download of their book, see what they're doing so you can model your efforts after those other best-selling authors in your genre. Talk to other authors, join some meetup groups, join some other local writing groups, and just talk to them and see about what they did, what worked for them, what didn't work for them. And also take this time to research those who might be doing services for you on your journey. Look for editors, book designers, cover designers. Do some research on them and find ones that are going to work for your needs. So that is your first goal, is to do your research and take your time in doing this. Don't rush in. A lot of people skip a lot of this and just want to get the book out, want to get it out now, and they skip a lot of these things, and then they end up regretting it later, and oh, I wish I had done that, or I wish I had known this. So do your research first and take it slow. I know you want to get that book out there, but just slow down just a little bit. Okay, and we do have that Business of Self-Publishing webinar. It touches base in a lot more detail into the things mentioned here in this. We dive into it a little bit more. Okay. The second step is setting up your business. Being a self-published author, it means you're actually running a business. and you need to treat it just like a business. In the eyes of the government, you are owning a business. You are a small business owner, and you have to treat it as such legally. So there is some red tape you are going to have to get through. So when you're setting up your business, one, you're going to need to think about your business structure. Are you a sole proprietor, an LLC, an S Corp? Most self-publishing authors are going to choose either a sole proprietor or an LLC. So do some research into those and figure out which one is more suitable to you. You also need to choose and register a business name. This is probably going to be the name of your publishing company. So look in your local government to see where you need to register that name and what your local government says you need to do to register your business. I also strongly suggest that you set up a separate checking account for your business under your business name. If you're an LLC, that is actually required that you do that. You cannot mix personal and business assets. You may also want to get a credit card under the business name instead of your personal name. You also want to purchase ISBNs. And part of the ISBN number points to the publisher of the book. That's what's an identification number for the publisher. You want the ISBNs assigned to your book to be registered to you under your business name, your publishing company name. That is what technically makes you a publisher, is owning your own ISBNs. You then want to go to all the places you're going to need accounts with. If you're going to go use CreateSpace, you want to create an account with them under your publishing company name, or Ingram Spark, or KDP for the Kindle, copyright.gov for the copyright. There's lots of different places you're going to need to establish your accounts. Get that taken care of after you've done your business structure and registration and you have your ISBNs. Then go to those places and set up all of your accounts. LCCN is a Library of Congress control number. You can go through the process of getting that once you have your business structure and your ISBNs in place. You will also want to register the copyright of your book. You will want to do that after editing and before the book is published. That allows you to file your copyright registration online and upload like a Word document or a PDF of your manuscript text. If you wait until after the book is published, you have to do so within 90 days. And you also have to, one, pay more and send them a copy of your book. So it's a lot easier and cheaper if you do it before the book is published. And I say wait until after the book is fully edited. That way you're sending them the final text of the manuscript. And then, of course, the fun stuff of accounting and taxes. So you want to keep track of all income that you generate with your book. That includes not just book sales, but maybe you have some speaking events and you get paid a fee. Then you can include that in your income. And also your expenses. Any expense you incur in running this business, you will want to be able to write off on your taxes. You might also want to talk to your accountant about possibly writing off a certain percentage of, say, a new program you had to buy, like Microsoft Word or Adobe PDF Creators, Photoshop, classes you took, books you purchased to read, to, like if you bought your competitor's book for research, that could be considered a legitimate business expense. Talk to your accountant if you have one, or just do your research to see what could be allowed to write off. Most likely the first year in being a self-published author, you will have a loss, and you can write that loss off on your taxes. Okay, so that's all the fun stuff of setting up your business. And of course, I spent a lot more time diving into these in the Business of Self-Publishing webinar, getting more detailed about how all of this is done. But this is your second step in your journey, is getting all the red tape and the business stuff taken care of and out of the way. It's not fun and it's annoying, but it does have to be done. Just remember, you are running a business if you're a self-published author, and you have to treat it like a business. Step 3, constructing your author platform. You want to do this well before your book is published. Don't publish your book and then go back and create all of this platform. You want to build it well in advance. You have an audience that you can reach before the book is published to tell them about your book. So part of the author platform, of course, is going to be a website. That is your home base for your entire marketing efforts, and telling everybody about your book should be done on a website that you own and you have control over. You also want to set up all your social media platforms that you're going to use. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. Set those up well in advance. You don't want to do all of them. Look for the ones that your target market are using and ones you feel comfortable using, and then just pick one or two to start and then add on down the road. Unless you're some social media guru, just start out small. But you do want to get them set up and in place well before the book is published. Mailing lists. I'm talking about an email list here, a newsletter, something to that effect. They are king. They are one of the most effective tools you can use as an author to reach your market and to promote your book. So you do want to get a mailing list in place before your book is published. There is free services that you can use, such as MailChimp, that will control and manage your mailing list for you and give you little links that you can send people to sign up for your mailing list. Once you get your mailing list set up and you have your website, you want to put a sign-up form on your website for that mailing list. You want to get people to sign up so you can tell them when your book is coming out or when it came out, or if you're doing a book signing, you want a mailing list for that. I also suggest that you create a blog and that you write some articles and post it on the blog. They don't have to be all about your book. You can write about themes that your target market would be interested in, and just write some continuous blogs at least once a month, and then also use it to build buzz about your book and tell people about your book. And don't do all this just kind of ad hoc. You want to come up with a plan. So create a strategy for your social media. Think in advance about what articles you're going to write, what things you're going to share, how often you're going to post. Maybe Mondays you have a certain social media theme that you send out on Mondays, and kind of like Throwback Thursday. Maybe you have your own themes you do once a week, twice a week, every Tuesday. Also plan your blog posting, your article in advance, and schedule everything in advance. You can have months worth of stuff already written and ready to go and scheduled out to be automatically posted. For me personally, for the selfpub.net Facebook page for Jera Publishing, I have the entire month worth of posts already scheduled to go out without me having to do anything else. So take one day a month, plan out and get everything scheduled for the next month, and then you can sit back and just concentrate on answering comments and doing other things other than, oh my gosh, I got to write a post today. And of course, put your plan into action. You've got this plan, so get it done. Start, planning out everything, getting those posts written, start writing on the blog, start working on growing your platform. And it's really tough as a new author to try to figure out what to talk about when you don't have your book out there. Many authors will talk about their writing journey. I do suggest that maybe you write reviews of other books that are in your genre. People searching for another author might stumble across your page and learn about you and your book. You can, like I said, and maybe interview other authors, collaborate with other authors in your genre to cross-promote each other, write interesting articles about the theme of your book. There's lots of things that you can get creative on what to write even before your book is published. Okay, and I do have a whole webinar called Constructing Your Author Platform. Go into a lot more detail, of course. Okay, step 4 is build your book. So you have to have a physical book or an ebook in order to get this done. So what do you do? How do you get that done? Of course, you have to finish your final draft. And once you have that final draft done, you want to do as much self-editing as you can. You want to send it through all stages of editing. Content editing, line editing, proofreading. Do as much as you can yourself. Then you might want to send it out to friends and family and have them look through it and make comments and mark problems and send it back to you. And then you keep polishing that book. Eventually, I do suggest that you try to find a professional editor. If it's not in your budget, beg, borrow, steal something to try to find someone to take a hard look at that book. You definitely want to have someone other than yourself edit that book. You tend to look over things. Your mind is filling in the blanks or reading a word wrong because you know what it should say, so your mind is telling you that's what it says when it's actually a typo or you're just overlooking things. So it is important that you have someone else look at the book other than yourself. Cover design. This is probably one of the most important things you need for your book to sell. It has to have an attractive cover. It has to work for your genre. It has to work well. The cover is one of the first things people are going to see when looking on books online, say on Amazon. They're going to see your cover. That is really important. Yes, you could probably design the cover yourself. You might think you're a good designer. Keep in mind that there are other things that need to be done to the cover other than looking good. The printers have a lot of specifications that needs to meet, such as color modes, saturation levels, bleeds, spine width, making sure the PDF is created correctly. So you may need to find a graphic designer that can help you out with that. Even if you supply the design, they still need to get it technically set up correctly. And a book blurb. This is another thing that is very important for your book to sell. They're going to see your cover, and then they're going to read your little book blurb, a description of what your book is about. Too many times when we're doing cover designs here at Jera Publishing and we ask them for the book blurb for the back cover, they haven't even thought about it yet. So they'll throw together something really quick and put it on the back of the book. That's not the best thing to do. You really want to take your time to write an effective book blurb. Have it edited. You don't want any typos in your book blurb, or people are going to think that your entire book is like that. So make it effective, make it entice people to buy the book. It does not have to include everything about the book, just something to entice them to pick it up and read it. And then the interior layout. So you're going to get it set up to be print ready. You need to set up all the pages in the book, the title page, the copyright page, the chapters, the chapter text. There's a lot of things that go into a professional book layout. Gutters, margins, font selection, hyphenation settings, page breaks, blank pages, page numbering. So it can be very overwhelming if you don't know what you're doing. So you'll either want to do a lot of research on what makes a professional interior layout, or see if you can find someone that can help you out that has done book layouts before. A lot of authors who are designing their own book make a lot of mistakes that they don't realize they're making simply because they don't understand the dynamics of interior layout. In the webinar Building Your Book, I do go over a lot of the common mistakes that are made, such as font choices, margins, indentation, to talk about what mistakes are commonly made. And I also look at the cover design and what makes a good cover design. Once you have the cover done and you have the interior done, you need to create print-ready files. These are PDF files. The PDF files need to be set to specific standards. It's not just like the words built in, saved to PDF. There's different types of PDFs, and printers require specific types of PDFs in order to meet their specifications. So you'll need to be able to generate print-ready files for your cover design and your interior layout. Once you have those, you need to send it off to your printer. I strongly suggest that before you publish your book, you get a printed proof copy of it and that you look through it carefully. Many times there are going to be mistakes in your book that you did not catch. Even if you went through your book thousands of times, when you get a physical printed book in your hand, you are going to find a few things that need to be corrected. So plan on that to happen. Don't be surprised when it does. I don't think I've ever had a single author that has sent a book to the printer and gotten back approved and had no changes. There's always something that they change. So just allow for that time-wise and mentally that you will find some changes. So get those changes made, make another print-ready file, and resubmit them to your publisher, printer, distributor, such as CreateSpace or Ingram Spark. And then you want to have the ebook created. You should do this after you get that proof copy. You want the ebook conversion to be the final copy of the book with all edits and all changes made to it. Otherwise, you'll have to do it again after you find those last-minute changes. So get your ebook conversion done and test it out. Look at it on ebook readers. There's emulators that you can get to view the ebook in different devices on your computer. And then, of course, upload it to your ebook distributor, such as Amazon's Kindle platform. Okay, so that gets your book out there, gets it actually on Amazon, gets the ebook on the Kindle. You have all that taken care of. Now comes what most authors consider the hardest part of self-publishing, and that is simply doing the marketing. I often hear that authors say that I thought writing the book was hard, but marketing is just 10 times worse. And that's simply because you're authors, you're not marketing specialists. It's tough. One common misconception about traditional publishing is that they will market your book for you. The fact is they will not. If you use a traditional publisher, they expect you to do all the marketing on your own anyways. So as a self-publisher, you're also going to have to do all that marketing on your own. So one of the first things you want to do is don't wait until your book is published to start marketing your book. You want to build some pre-launch buzz. So you have that author platform in place, and hopefully you have some people following you. So start talking about your launch date. And you should set a specific date for the launch of your book. Don't just have your launch date be, well, the book is ready now, I'm going to submit it to Ingram Spark, and boom, whenever it hits Amazon, that's its launch date. You want to set a specific date and have that date be your launch date. So you don't have to rush it. You can submit it to Ingram Spark and say, I want my launch date to be like, say, a month from now. You can upload your ebook to the Kindle platform and do a pre-launch where you say, my ebook is going to be launched on this date. Have everything ready in place and then schedule out when your launch is going to happen. I know you want to rush it and get it out right now, but it's better to have a specific launch date in the future scheduled. That way you can plan. You can plan blog tours. You can plan book signings. You can plan posts on social media and mailing lists. Try to get everybody, or many people as you can, to purchase your book in the first couple of days that it is launched. So all your followers and everything, there's going to be a lot of buzz on that launch date. That will hopefully push you into the bestseller list for your category on Amazon, or perhaps for the new releases category. And that will greatly help the sales of your book and might help you keep in that bestseller list for some time. So plan a launch date and then start talking about it on your mailing list and blog. Don't spam, but every now and then mention, hey, here's the launch date of my book, and talk about it, both in your mailing list and blog as well as social media. And go ahead and plan a launch party. Celebrate. This could just be friends and family, or you might maybe do something more of a big local event. Maybe invite some people, some peers in that industry that you're doing, the theme, the genre. Try to get some local media to come, whatever you feel you want to do, but go ahead and party. Blog tours. A lot of authors will start doing blog tours, and that is where you connect with a bunch of book bloggers and get each one of them to agree to talk about your book on a specific day. It's not all going to be the same day. You may have one blog talk about your book on Monday, another blog talk about it on Tuesday, and then again on Wednesday and Thursday. And you want to try to get as many days in a row as you can, but this should happen right after the launch of your book. And you have to plan the blog tours well in advance, sometimes months in advance. So that is why having a specific date for your launch is important, so you can plan things such as blog tours and book signings and speaking events and have your launch party. So plan it out, but give yourself plenty of time so that your book is ready on that date. Editing takes time. Layout takes time. Covers take time. Often a lot more time than you think it's going to take. An editor might say that they can have it back in a month, but then you have to look through the edited copy and make changes, make revisions. So it's going to be longer than a month. So book signings, look for local establishments that might want to do a book signing for you. It does not have to be a bookstore. Look for things that are related to the topic of your book. If you're doing a book on, say, healthy eating, go talk to Whole Foods. See if they want to do a book signing for you. So think outside the bookstore. Speaking events, similar type thing. You might want to go to like local book clubs or radio shows, or plan your own speaking event. Just schedule something and start inviting people to it. There's lots of different speaking events, interviews, TV spots, local radio stations. Get the buzz out. And the sooner you do this after your book launch, the better. People aren't necessarily going to want to talk about a book that was published a year ago. They want to know that, hey, this was just published, this is brand new, this is news. And then your ebook promotion. You can run ebook promotions using Amazon's Kindle platform with the KDP Select setting, but I do not suggest you run that right away. You want everyone to buy a copy of your book after the launch, and if you immediately offer an ebook promotion on it, then you lost a lot of real sales. But you can run a free ebook promotion after the initial sales happen and you get a slump. Your goal with an ebook promotion is not to make money. It's to build fans, to build your author platform, to gain readers of you as an author. And that way, when your next book comes out, you will have faithful followers that are going to pick up and buy that next book. If you are publishing your second or your third or your fourth book, then running an ebook promotion immediately after your launch on your first book is a good idea, but not if this is the only book you have. Wait for a while before you start running those ebook promotions. And of course, like I said, mentioned kind of briefly, one of the best things you can do for marketing your book is to write more books. Having more books into the system, it's going to grow your author platform, and you're going to see a lot more sales overall. So do not give up if you don't see that huge popularity after your very first book. Most authors say that after their third book comes out, that's when it really starts to take off and their career as an author really starts to materialize. You got to struggle for a couple books, and then you will learn things. Your audience will grow, your platform will grow, and you will have 2 other books or in your system to use as promotional material for your new books. Okay, that is your 5th step, marketing your book. So you have your research, you have the setting up your business, building your author platform, making your book, and then marketing your book. Those are your 5 steps that you need to do to successfully self-publish your book. Of course, there's a lot of little steps within those big steps, but follow that plan in that order and you'll see some good results. And of course, I am going to be sending you a self-publishing action plan. Look for that in your email within a couple days. as well as a recording of this webinar and a PDF of the slides. So it's going to take all these steps and break them down into checklists of things that you can be doing and some ideas that you should be doing to develop your self-publishing plan and get things taken care of. And this is an introduction to the fuller, more detailed sessions. So if you wanted to check out and sign up for any of these classes, you can do so at selfpub.net, classes, success.html, and you'll see where you can register for all of these. And again, these are all recorded, so if you can't make that date or time, go ahead and just get registered, and I will be sending recordings out to everybody that registers. I'm going to go ahead and open this up to any questions. If anyone would like to ask a question about anything we talked about, please feel free. You're also free to contact me about setting up a brief consulting session over the phone. So just give me a call or an email and I can set that up for you. So if you have a question, go ahead and type it into the question box and I'll get that answered for you. Otherwise, I will talk to you later, hopefully, and hopefully see you at the Self-Publishing Success webinars coming up next week.